gotta say, what an absolute sausage I am. So you're probably wondering, what, Jay, why are you already back at home? You were just out riding. Well, let me tell you. I wanted to shoot today's video with a beautiful scenic backdrop. I found the perfect spot as well. Lovely rolling Lancashire countryside in the background. There was loads of wind turbines. It looked really good. I've come home, I've watched the footage back, and the audio was just completely blown out. Couldn't hear anything. It was windy, wasn't it? It's almost like they put wind farms in inherently windy spots. Should have been a giveaway when the wind is flopping me fringe about exposing my terrible airline, but didn't even put two and two together, did I? So lesson learned anyway. So I'm back home now. Oh, one little point as well. If you're looking at the name of the channel and the bike, thinking, hang on, I ain't a Bonneville. You're right, but we'll get to that. Just bought myself the Bonnie. Subscribe to the channel. The next video I will be introducing her. So yeah, into the meat and potatoes of the video. Is motorcycling affordable? Can you do it on a tight budget? In short, yeah. So I read a stat the other day that shocked me. The average age of a motorcyclist in the UK is 54 years old. Like, if you're 54 over, cover your ears, but oh my God, that's old. Like for an average, that's high. So I put my thinking cap on. I thought, oh, why? Why is it so high? Is it because 54-year-old, I don't know, Gary probably, he lives in a house he probably paid 30 grand for back in 89. So he's got loads of spare cash. Maybe that's just created a misconception that you need loads of money to afford it. So how much does it cost in 2025 to get into motorcycling? So we start with the big one, the bike. If you don't know what it was in the video, at the beginning of the video, I've got a 2001 Suzuki SV650. It is a 645cc V-twin. It's pumping out around about, I think, 69 brake horsepower and about 47 foot-pounds of torque. It's about 190 kilograms wet and ready to ride. It's got a nice low seat height. It ticks all the boxes for a beginner bike. After weeks of deliberating, weeks of like scrolling Auto Trader and Google for best beginner bikes, that's where I settled. One big driving factor for me was all to do with cost, keeping that cost down, because like I said, I am a bit tight. Didn't have a lot of money to spend, so that's why I've settled on the SV. It had a brand new paint job. It was a full respray, so the condition for its age was lovely. It had loads of little extras on there, and I spent for that bike in that condition, perfect condition, 1,500 quid. And I'm sorry, I think that is a bargain. I'd be curious to see if anyone else has had a deal that they would consider better. If you have, tell me what it was you got in the comments and how much for, because I think you're going to struggle to beat that, guys. Honestly, I'd not blowing my own trumpet, but I thought that was a good find on my part. So that's number one, the bike, 1,500 quid. Then number two, insurance. This is why I went for the SV, because it was super cheap to insure. I appreciate it will vary, but for me, for that bike, for the year, it was only 163 quid. I mean, come on, you've got to admit that is cheap. In my house, that's like, I don't know, 3 takeaways maybe. I mean, that's a sad realization. I need to calm down on takeaways. Third, taxing it. So for any motorcycle over, I think it was 600 cc's, was 117 quid. I don't really know what to compare it to. It's my first big bike, but I think that's fine. Like, really, I don't think that's too bad. So, yeah. Last but not least, certainly not least, probably the most important bit, your protective gear. So I'll start with the helmet, which is there. Mine's a HJC, which is a good brand. I chose a C70, it's called, that one. I'll tell you for why. 100 quid brand new. And if you don't know helmets, like, you could spend 10x that on a helmet, easy. And the other factor that mattered to me was just safety, because end of the day, I don't want flat in my head. The only other important factor for me was just the safety rating of it. And that has got, I'll show you, it has got this sticker here, which means it's good enough or safe enough to use on track days. I certainly won't be doing them, I'm too mad. But for me, that's just a clear indication that it's in the top sort of category of safety, so perfect. Cheap and it's safe. I mean, what more do you want? So, perfect helmet for starting out if you don't want to spend the earth. C70 HJC. The only other item with my protective gear that I will actually mention properly is, in detail, my protective jacket. You can see me wearing it in the video. It's like a tan colour. I don't know where I put it down now. I think it's upstairs. It was AAA rated. So if you're not familiar with this, that's the safety rating basically. If you're not familiar with that, it's A. Well, I suppose you're technically unrated, but then A, AA, AAA. AAA being the highest safety sort of rating. And the jacket in the video, I'll actually show that off in a bit more detail separate. That was 200 quid, AAA rated, and it's a casual sort of overshirt style. It's got armour, nice slimline stuff, so you can get off the bike, go into a pub and have a Diet Coke somewhere, and you don't look like my dad in his one-piece leathers who looks like a Power Ranger. No, you wear it with riding jeans, you just look like any other bloke in the pub, so perfect. And 200 quid. So with all my other bits, boots, gloves, and protective jeans, my total for all my gear was 470 quid. That, if you're not familiar with motorcycle gear, trust me, that is good, because I've seen certain riding jackets that tend to be owned by GS riders cost £1,000, more in fact, and I've seen helmets more than £1,000 as well. So I've spent just under 500 quid for a top rated jacket, a very safe helmet. What more do you need? You know, I'm on a budget here, you know, I'm tight. That brings the grand total for everything I spent to get the bike, tax it, insure it, get all the protective gear, to a grand total of 2,250 quid. Steal. You could easily spend that on a helmet and a jacket. I got a bike, I taxed it and insured it, and the gear for just over two grand. So what I'm hoping, the purpose of the video is that if there's any of you guys and girls out there who are desperate to get on a bike but think you can't afford it, at least I've put a real world figure on what it can cost. Because I just got a feeling there's a misconception out there that you need thousands and thousands and thousands of pounds to get out riding, but you just don't. And you can even find bikes cheaper than mine. I mean, I think mine was a steal. Not saying it's the cheapest, I think it was a steal because it had a full respray. Anyway, you know, the condition, it was perfect. If you're not that bothered and you'll happily get a banger, but that's mechanically sound, I've seen stuff out there for 900, 1,000, in which case that would bring the 2,250 total down to closer to sort of 1,800 quid. That's a good figure to get into it, because you definitely want to get into motorcycling, trust me, because it's awesome. So like I say, hopefully that's opened some people's eyes out there and made you realise that, do you know what? I could afford this. And I just want to encourage more people to get out there and get riding. If you found the video helpful, hit that subscribe button if you got some value out of it and it's maybe inspired you to go out there and get a bike. Look out for the future videos. I've just picked up a brand new bike, new to me bike, and I'm going on a road trip soon. I'm going to be filming it all, and you guys can come along for the journey. It'll be good. I'm going with a few mates, which, if I know them, I'm going to be spending God knows how long editing out swear words, I think. So that's going to take ages. Not looking forward to that. And guys, hope you enjoyed the video, and we'll see you all in the next one. And if you don't ride yet, I hope this has inspired you to go out there and get one. If you do, ride safe. See you later, guys. Bye bye.